Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 53 of the Drop It podcast. This podcast is tailor-made for those of you with weight to lose, those of you that are losing weight now, and those of you that are bathing in the success of your weight loss accomplishment. If it's your first time on the show, welcome. I'm your host, Nick Geoppo, and in 2019, I lost 110 pounds after a lifetime of losing weight and gaining it back on every single diet that me, you, or anyone else in the world has ever heard of, ever tried, or ever considered trying for weight loss. So if you found yourself losing weight just to gain it back the way that me and most obese people do for years after years after years for their entire lives, you're going to find this podcast to be really helpful. All of these messages that I'm sharing are the things that I wish people told me and that I wish I had access to when I was fat as fuck. So after losing all that weight in 2019, it's been almost 6 years now, I've dedicated my life to helping guide people through not how to lose weight. I actually don't really give a fuck about weight loss at all, but guiding people through how to change your lifestyle, your relationship with food, and your mindset so that you can actually keep the weight off. Weight loss doesn't really mean anything. I feel that I wasted so much of my life doing these things that were inherently unsustainable from the get-go, right? Keto, low carb, if it fits your macros, counting every single calorie, intermittent fasting, taking to one meal a day, Weight Watchers, all these programs, all of these diets that are just different forms of restriction that I actually knew I couldn't do forever. Then I realized that the way you lose weight dictates how sustainable your results are. So if you can't do it forever, don't do it to lose weight. And that's a tough realization because what's really addicting is just the feeling of weight loss. The feeling of losing weight actually feels better in the moment than the idea of having to keep the weight off, because when you see the progress on this scale, it's just like, oh my God, the fucking endorphins, I'm doing it, I'm making progress. But we know that when we're doing something unsustainable, that progress isn't going to stick. So we're just getting off on the short-term pleasure, which is actually the same thing that led to obesity in the first place, and overeating food, getting off on the short-term pleasure, knowing that we're going to regret it later. See how you set up your life? I see that because that's how I set up my life for 6 consecutive years from 2013 to 2019. When you zoom out and look at it, then you can see where all of the issues really lie. And that's the work that I've dedicated myself to helping other people understand as well. All I care about is the sustainability of your results. Podcast episode 53. You're probably wondering why the hell we're on video. I just figured we're recording these episodes. We might as well put them on YouTube and actually get the phone camera up. So this isn't a fancy studio. We're just operating out of my office here and getting on video for those of you that don't have Spotify, don't have Apple Podcasts. And over time, we're going to start releasing some more YouTube videos as well. We're on Instagram, of course, with daily or mostly daily content. We have the podcast every week on Spotify and Apple. Can't believe it's already been 53 episodes, but going to start putting these on YouTube, and then over coming months, start having some different YouTube videos as well. So thank you guys for the support. And if it's your first time watching this on YouTube, or you typically listen on audio, go jump over to YouTube and give me a subscribe and help me grow that channel so that we can grow this message of sustainability and weight loss and being obese being the best thing that's ever happened to you, with all of the things you're looking for in life in the journey of addressing your own obesity. This podcast episode is dedicated to my client, Aaron. Aaron is a new client of mine that I'm working with one-on-one, in addition to him being a part of the Drop It fam, the Drop It family, the Drop It group, and the Drop It community group program. We're working together one-on-one as well. We've been doing so for 2 weeks. And when I first spoke to Aaron to figure out if it made sense for us to work with each other, because I want to make sure that I have the tools, the knowledge, the resources to be able to guide him through this, the big issues that we were dealing with were wanting to lose weight and keep it off, of course. We all want to do that. But also being in this cycle of binging or drastically overeating. Sometimes the word binging, people don't like using that. So if that feels triggering to you, overeating on a lot of food. For him specifically, it's overeating on lots of pasta at night before going to bed. And it's preventing him from losing weight, making him feel like shit. So we really have 2 different issues, right? We have the weight loss issue, then we have the relationship with food issue. We're addressing both at the same time, but as 2 different things. And what we've done together is we've built a plan for him that's filled with foods that he can make really quick. We built a plan for him on how he can eat out, navigating social situations in a way that's easy and doesn't suck, and the ways that he can eat foods that actually satiate him and make him feel full so that he doesn't have those crazy binging urges. In addition to that, we've done work on mindset, connecting to why, positive self-talk, recognition, telling yourself good job, and working with him in this way in combination with accountability with me directly, but also coaching and showing him how to be more accountable for himself in this way has resulted in so much change in his life in the last 2 weeks. He's been 12 days without overeating, 12 days without a binge. And for me, what I love about this is I see so much of myself in Aaron, because I was stuck in this cycle throughout different points in my journey, even sometimes the year after I had already lost the weight, back in early 2020, where I would still really overeat these 4,000 or 5,000 calorie meals. And then I would, not eat breakfast or lunch the next day and just be stuck in this forever cycle. There's a lot of people that are doing that. And when you make that jump from just worrying about calories and weight loss to just start focusing on the relationship with self, relationship with food, and you have the accountability to do that from someone that has actually done it, that's where change actually starts to come. So very proud of you, Aaron. You're fucking kicking ass. And it's great to see you recognizing that you have so much more control over food than food has over you. So really excited to be continuing this journey with you. And there's no doubt in my mind that you will lose weight and that you will continue to keep the weight off. He's lost 9 pounds in the last week and a half. And that's a lot of weight to lose. If you're someone that's dealing with a lot of overeating, you might lose a lot of weight really fast. It's not that you're losing that much fat. It's that you're not carrying all the water weight from drastically overeating, especially on carbs, things like pasta, or bread, or things like that are retaining a lot of water in your body. That being said, congrats on the weight loss. Over time, Aaron and I are going to level out in that 1.5 to 2.5 pounds per week range. We might still be a couple weeks away from there as we shed some water weight and as the body continues to adjust. But we'll keep you updated as Aaron continues to kick some ass. If you relate to his story and my story and you want to work with me directly to see the similar results that I had for myself that Aaron is working through with me right now, you can click the link in the description of either this YouTube video or this podcast episode. It's going to prompt you to fill out a 3 to 4 minute form to see if you're a good fit. And as soon as you fill it out, if you are, it will take you straight to my calendar, and you can book a call with me directly, a free call, where I will literally walk you through step by step exactly what I did for myself, step by step exactly what I'm doing with Aaron and my other clients to get similar results as well. And if it makes sense for us to do it together, then we'll do it together. And if it doesn't, I'll do my best to point you in the right direction of something that will. So if you want to book a free call with me, go ahead and fill out the form, and we can see if we might be able to change your life forever together. That was the longest winded introduction to a podcast I've ever had. How many minutes into this podcast are we? We haven't even got to the topic. The topic of today is exercise. We're going to be talking about how to build a sustainable exercise routine for permanent weight loss. And there's a bunch of things that you need to know and understand. So pull out a pen and a paper. Come to this episode pretending that you've never exercised before. Forget everything that you know about exercise and meet me here as a newborn that has never even walked. And I'm going to walk you through literally step by step how to build a sustainable, healthy relationship with exercise. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dissociate exercise from weight loss, meaning that exercise and weight loss are two different things. We're never going to exercise to lose weight. We're never going to run or walk to burn calories. We're never going to do a HIIT workout to burn calories. As soon as you start exercising to burn calories, you've already lost the game for a couple of reasons. One is that you'll get to a point over time where you don't have calories to burn because you've already hit your weight loss goal. So if your idea is I'm going to exercise so I can lose weight, what happens when there's no more weight to lose is you just stop exercising. And that's what happened to me through all my excessive cardio earlier on in my journey, where I'd lose 50 to 75 pounds in a summer by just over-exercising and under-eating, of course, too, right? And then once I would hit my goal, I'd just kind of stop. All these habits that I'd built that weren't really habits. I was just ultra-disciplining myself to weight loss. they weren't sustainable. So the first thing and then I would gain the weight back. So the first thing that we're going to do is exercise is something that we do. Write this down. Exercise is something you do for your mind to build consistency. Exercise is not something that we do to lose weight. When you exercise regularly, you feel better about yourself and you have more self-belief. You also have more energy and more consistency in your life. And when you feel those positive emotions over a period of time, you start realizing that you do have what it takes to be consistent and to eat better. So there is a correlation between exercise and eating, of course, right? But when we step into this I'm going to exercise to lose weight, write this down as well. When you exercise to lose weight, consider how long does it take you to burn 300 calories? And then consider how long does it take you to eat 300 calories? And just write down, I don't know. It depends on what kind of exercise you're doing. If you're walking on a treadmill on an incline, it might take you 90 minutes to burn 300 calories. If you're eating a pint of ice cream, it might take you about 9 bites of ice cream. So I don't know, 3 minutes to eat the same amount of calories that you just burned. So does it make more sense for us to work on our relationship with food and getting more dialed in our nutrition in a way that's non-obsessive and doesn't suck? Or does it make more sense for us to go slave on the treadmill to try to burn as many calories as we can? Right? Really sit on that, right? The people that are trying to tell you to do all this crazy exercise shit to lose weight typically aren't people that have lost weight and kept it off, that have healthy relationships with exercise now. So I used to think that to lose weight and keep it off, I had to be super disciplined. But that's not actually the case. If going to the gym is something that you dread, if your exercise routine is something that you dread, you might lose weight. I mean, you'll lose weight, right? If you're in a calorie deficit, you'll lose weight. When you exercise, you'll be in more of a calorie deficit because you're burning more calories. But if you hate your exercise routine, if you hate even your meal plan, but we're talking about exercise here, you still might be able to stick to it by just doing something that you hate all the time. But that sucks. And the noise will never go away. You don't just want to lose weight. You want freedom from thinking about weight loss, freedom from food, freedom from exercise fatigue, freedom from hating your journey and hating yourself. And me hating myself, right? And I was making myself go to the gym all the time, making myself run 5 miles every day. I hated it. I hated every single moment of it. And there were lessons for that in me. There were lessons in that for me. I'm not saying don't ever do things that are hard. Of course, doing things that are hard, you have things to learn, but make sure that if you are doing some crazy shit like 75 hard or Whole 30, something that you know is inherently not something you'll do forever, make sure that you're doing it for not to lose weight. We're not doing 75 hard to lose weight. If you want to do a challenge like that, do a challenge like that to learn how to build consistency and see what you learn about yourself. Don't do it to fucking lose as much weight as you can in 75 days, because who are you on day 76 is actually all that really matters. Who are you on day 31 of Whole 30, right? And you can see the sustainability game. But the progress of 75 hard feels so good. Yeah, it does. We're not doing this to feel short-term pleasure. We're doing this to build long-term self-respect by changing our lifestyles, not by binging an exercise routine or an exercise program. So feel the difference between exercising for weight loss and having a healthy relationship with exercise. And after you adopt that mindset, pause here and sit with that and look at what you just wrote. Never exercise to lose weight. Only exercise to build consistency, feel good about your life, have more energy, and have longevity in your body and in your life, in your vessel, right? When you're walking or running or doing any cardio, you're going to have a healthier heart, healthier blood pressure. Those are great for you. When you're lifting weights, you're going to build healthier bone structure, healthier spine, less likely to fall when you're older, have more muscle mass, fill out your clothing a little bit better. That's great for you as well. But we're not doing it to lose weight. We're doing it to feel healthy, to be healthy, to prioritize our health. So after you accept that as true, if you cannot accept that, the rest of this podcast won't make any sense. So pause, go back and re-listen to it. If you can accept that as true, okay, Nick, that makes sense. I think I can get behind that. Or maybe you're someone that has already been feeling that and thinking in that way. Then let's continue on how to build your sustainable exercise routine. Again, Exercise to me is also super disinteresting. All I care about is the sustainability of what we're doing. Anyone can go do some crazy fucking workout routine for 1, 2, or even 3 months, sometimes even a year. That was me, right? Anyone can binge something for months on end. What can you do for the rest of your life? Now, when I say this, it doesn't mean that you can't change things later, right? I always say, if you can't do the food plan for life, then don't do it. You can make some changes, but like realistically, is this something you can do for life? So if you're someone that's not exercising right now, pull out, again, the pen and the paper. The first thing we're going to do is start with daily movement in the form of walking for 10 minutes a day. This is the exact process that I take people through that are a part of my group and that I also work with one-on-one. We start with walking for 10 minutes a day. How many times have you tried to lose weight and you join a gym and then you just don't even go? Or you join a gym and you go 4 or 5 times a week and then you're so sore you just stop? Like, none of this is sustainable. Let it build over time. You know how when you're fat and people are always like, it's all about small changes over time, but no one ever actually tells you what the small changes are? That's what this is. This is what the small changes over time are, step by step. Start with walking for 10 minutes a day. If you're watching this podcast, pull out your phone right now and take a video of yourself saying, tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go on a 10-minute walk, not for the sake of burning calories, because you're not going to burn shit for calories, for the sake of proving to myself that I can do it. I'm the kind of person that says I'm going to do something and then I do it. Go walk for 10 minutes, set your alarm. You get up at 7, typically set your alarm for 6:50. If you don't have a typical wake up time and it's random, the challenge isn't going to be exercising. It's going to be building a routine for yourself, which actually is one of the best things you can do for sustainable weight loss. But that's a different topic, right? Go on a 10-minute walk and then watch the video when you're done. Watch what it feels like to say you're going to do something and then do it. That's how you build self-trust. Do it again and again and again. Do it every single day for 2 weeks. Just walk for 10 minutes a day and watch how much better your fucking life becomes. Forget food for a second. Forget weight loss. Just watch how much better your life becomes when you get those 10 minutes of being outside, even if it's freezing cold, right? We're going into winter. Throw a fucking jacket on, throw some gloves on, get some hand warmers, dress up, throw 4 or 5 layers on with some boots if there's snow. Get outside, regardless of the weather. You make it happen. You can do it. And feel what it's like to just be outside. Like, feel how, get outside, go alone if it's safe to do that. Bring no earphones, or if you're bringing earphones, if you're in a safe area, listen to this podcast, something positive or something else, music that you like that makes you feel good, makes you feel capable, makes you feel motivated, inspired, right? When you fill your mind with that positivity and get outside, you just tap into this kind of different level of joy and happiness. And like, oh, okay, I'm outside. So many of us spend so much of our days inside. Some of us spend our whole fucking days inside and don't step outside one fucking time besides to go to the car, to walk into the office or wherever the fuck we're going. Get the 10 minutes of being outside. Get the 10 minutes of moving your body first thing in the morning. Wake up, take a piss, drink some water, and then go on a 10-minute walk. Do that every day for 2 weeks and just watch how different your life becomes without even weighing yourself, right? Now you have a little bit of a routine. You have some consistency. Where you go from here is the question becomes, what is the most, write this down, what is the most that I can do that doesn't suck? Or what is the most that I can do that I don't hate? Now, this is different for everyone. The idea is not to hate your exercise routine. If you don't like CrossFit, don't go to a CrossFit gym. If you don't like going to the gym, don't go to the gym, ever. If you don't like moving your body at all, that's a fucking problem, and we're going to have to start really small until you build more comfort, because as you get healthier, as you lose weight, as you feel stronger, you will start liking it more. It's not that people don't like working out, it's that people don't like sucking at something. Like, it sucks to pick up the guitar and think you're going to start. Like, it sucks. When you pick something up and start something, it fucking sucks because you suck at it, right? When you get better, you start feeling better about the progress, feels really good. So you have to build a little bit of discipline to be able to stick with something long enough to see some improvement so that you can see that change is possible. And the 10-minute walks is a great place to do that. Where we go from there is What was the most I can do that doesn't suck? For most people, depending on your situation, I recommend doing some sort of bodily movement in addition to your 10-minute walk, resistance training, twice per week. That's it. If twice per week sounds overwhelming, do once per week. Pull out your calendar. This is the point that people miss. And when I film these podcasts, I imagine that I'm talking to my old self, and I'm like, what would land, what wouldn't land? This would not have landed for me. So let me preface it by saying that and recognize, if this does not land for you, that this is the difference between people that lose weight and gain it back and people that lose weight and keep the weight off. Pull out your fucking calendar and put 10-minute walk in the morning on your calendar. Put resistance training Tuesday at 6 p.m. or whenever the fuck you're going to do it. If you don't have it on your calendar, it's probably not going to happen. If you don't have a calendar, you're probably not going to lose weight and keep the weight off. If you do, it's going to require a lot of living in the moment, figuring things out as you go, because you don't have things really planned. And that's the difference. We think that we're just going to like free ball weight loss. Like, you're not. We're building a system. You're existing inside of the common sense system, the common sense diet system. This is the common sense approach to exercise, right? This is literally what I coach. This is literally the accountability that I hold people to build their plan. These are the secrets. Here they are. Build a plan that works for you in the long run. You have to have a calendar. You have to. And I would have listened to myself being like, I don't need a fucking calendar, man, because I lost weight before and I didn't have a calendar. Yeah, but you gained the weight back. Right? Old Nick, fat Nick, you gained the fucking weight back. Pull your calendar out. Just do it. It's going to do it on this episode right now while you're listening to this. If you have time to listen to a podcast, you have time to put something in your calendar and then live to the calendar. Build some routine for yourself. If you don't have a routine, it's not going to happen. You have to build a system. The common sense system is all about having some sort of daily routine that you do so that you can prove to yourself that you have the consistency you need to make any of this shit happen. We want to be moving our body resistance training, starting with once to twice per week. And if you don't have a gym membership, that's fine. Do it at home. Literally start with what the most that you can do that doesn't suck. If you're fat as fuck, the way that I was, it might be doing 10 squats and 10 push-ups up against the wall. That might be it. And you might do that every day because that's a 30-second routine. Or you might add more and do that once per week. But what can you do that doesn't suck, that you don't absolutely hate? You're not going to hate doing 10 squats, right? Those of you that have done some exercise before, that might look like having an actual 20-minute routine where you're pulling open a YouTube video of someone doing a home workout, a HIIT workout, or push-ups and squats or chin-ups if you have the strength to do that. You might have the strength to do it, but be so fat that there's no way that you could do a pull-up. That was most people's reality. I lived in that for a long time. The pull-ups suck when you're fat and you're basically impossible. That all being said, you have to build a little bit of resistance training. There's this reality to just cardioing yourself to weight loss where the cardio has diminishing returns, right? It's almost like there's this really interesting, when you're really over cardio exercising, for me it was running. If you have never ran and then right now you just went and ran 1 mile every day for a week, you'd lose a lot of weight. But if you did that for a month, your body just adapts really fast to cardio. And those of you that are sedentary, that have been binging cardio for a week on end, notice you lose a lot of weight. And then the second week, you don't lose the same amount of weight. It's your body adapts to cardio really quick. Again, dissociate exercise from weight loss. We're doing cardio in the form of walking because it's good for our souls, not because it's going to help us lose weight. Because it's good for our cardiovascular health, not because it's going to help us lose weight. Feel the difference there. It's very important to do some sort of resistance training. That means weight training, bands, weights, kettlebells, push-ups up against the wall, body weight squats. Whatever you can do is going to help you feel stronger over the course of months and years. It will slightly start to increase your metabolism. You'll be able to eat more food without gaining weight, or be able to still lose weight while eating more food than you have in the past. You're also just going to feel stronger. You're going to look a little more like a capable human. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you'll feel a little bit more pride and a little more strength. That's what you really deserve to feel. When you lose a lot of weight, I lost weight, I mean, so many times that I would lose weight and it looked like you can push me over with your pinky finger. I was just this frail, like almost skinny fat is the term that people use. But I wasn't really proud of my body. I was proud of the progress that I'd made, but I still looked at my body and like, God, I just look like I don't want to go to the beach, and some people that lose weight and have muscle still don't feel all that proud about the way their body looks. They don't feel optimized because you might have a lot of loose skin. Those are things that you can work through mentally, but a really great way to do that is also by just building some more muscle. And that's one of the biggest regrets that I had in my own journey was I prioritized cardio so much. Even years after losing weight, I still wasn't doing much weightlifting. I'm about 18 months into lifting weights right now. And here's the routine that I've built myself to, right? So to bring it back, get 1 or 2 resistance training sessions in per week to start. They could be in the gym or out of the gym. If you don't know what to do full body, meaning lower body and upper body. The basis of any workout routine is an upper body push movement, meaning a push-up or a shoulder press, an upper body pull movement, meaning a lat pull or a pull-up or pull-down, whatever you want to call it, and then a lower body push movement, meaning a squat, and a lower body pull movement, meaning a deadlift. There's different variations of all of those. But with 4 movements, you hit every single, with 6 movements, you hit every single body part that you have. Push, pull, horizontal, push, pull, vertical, upper body, push, pull, lower body. That's it. You just find one exercise for each one and then cycle through those. That's what I do right now. I'm about 1.5 years into lifting weights. I go to the gym 3 times per week. And I go to the gym and it's not some crazy, like I've got to do these exercises. I go to the gym. Hey, what's up? How are you? Good to see you. I'm talking to everyone. I'm dancing all over the place. I'm getting goofy. I pop my shirt off at the gym. That's not something I did until 1 year or 2 years ago. But I just let it be this light thing. I'm not counting out reps and sets. I'm not, how am I going to get better this week versus last week? It's not this like super disciplined, how am I going to improve? It's like I'm here to just have a good time at the gym, move my body in a way that feels right. And through doing that, I've built a lot more muscle mass. I don't have a lot of muscle mass, a lot more muscle mass in the last year than I've ever had. And I'm substantially stronger than I've ever been without being hyper obsessive. And I let going to the gym be light. I let exercising at home be this really light thing that isn't a pain in the ass and doesn't suck. So all I do is I go into the gym and I do push-ups, and then I do shoulder presses, and then I do pull downs or pull ups, body weight, and I do lat pulls, and I do squats and lunges, squats and deadlifts. And I'll just go through rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds. And I'll take a second break and take a bite of snack or eat some fruit or drink some water, and then I'll go right back in. Then I'll do that for about 30 minutes, and I'll just do set after set after set, get some good music on. I'm smiling the whole time. I'm sweating, having a good time. Doesn't need to be so fucking serious. Doesn't need to be this, I gotta prove to myself that I can go to the gym. It's like, just go to the fucking gym because it feels good. And when you start getting better, it's going to start feeling better. You can do the same thing from home. When I can't go to the gym, I have one kettlebell at home and a mirror in my living room. And I take the kettlebell and I do all of those same things with the kettlebell. That's it. Literally pick up, I'll go down to the floor, do push-ups. Can't do push-ups on the floor, do a wall push-up. I'll do lat pulls, like rowing with the kettlebell bent over. I'll squat with the kettlebell. I'll do deadlifts with the kettlebell. I'll do overhead shoulder press with the kettlebell. If kettlebells sound intense, I don't know, Nick, that's a lot. Get a band. If a band sounds intense, if you're really fat and you're just starting, do it with nothing. Raise your arms up like this and press your own weight. If you have a lot of fat on your body, you are lifting your own body is a lot. Doing a body weight squat when you're 274 pounds like I was is the same as me doing a body weight squat right now at 165 to 170 pounds with 100 pounds on my back. Like, so, meet yourself with some grace. If you're really heavy, doing jumping jacks is going to burn the fucking shit out of you. That's great, right? So it doesn't need to be this crazy weight thing. Let it evolve over time. Start with what you can do. If you don't know what you can do, go on YouTube and literally watch a 10-minute home workout video. Do that once per week for a month, and then start doing it twice per week. It's about building a plan that's going to work for you, and everyone's a little bit different. But again, what is the most that you can do that doesn't fucking suck? That being said, you're not always going to love what you're doing. for exercise. Like this idea that you're going to like every single thing that you do, I'm going to love every single food that I eat is not real. But the challenge is not to do anything that you hate for the sake of sustainability. If you're doing something that you hate, like I want to go run a marathon. I ran lots of marathons. I hated it, but I learned a lot. I was doing them to learn. I wasn't doing them to lose weight, right? In some ways, I was doing them to keep the weight off because I had an unhealthy relationship with exercise and food. This was years ago. But that doesn't mean you can't do a challenge. It just means that when you're looking at what you're going to be doing forever, make sure that you're building your plan around that. So you don't have to love your exercise routine and every moment of it. But if you hate it, you got to change it to something that you don't hate so that it's not this dreadful thing that you eventually quit when you're just not motivated enough. If you made it to the end of the podcast episode, big highlights. Don't exercise to lose weight. Build a plan for yourself that doesn't fucking suck. Start slow, let it grow over time. We're not in a rush. I mean, if you do those three things, how common sense. This is the common sense approach, the common sense system to exercise and to sustainability. If you can't do it forever, do it in an isolated pocket to learn something like a challenge, but don't do that to lose weight. Or just don't fucking do it at all and start small and build into something that you can do forever over time as you change your lifestyle and your relationship with exercise and your relationship with yourself. If you want help doing that, if you relate to my story and you can feel the truth in what I'm saying and you're ready to actually make the permanent change to losing weight forever, again, fill out the app. In my bio, it's going to take you in the description of this podcast or YouTube video, it's going to take you straight to my calendar. You and I will get on a call together and I will just show you literally exactly step by step what I did for myself and what I do for other people. And you can let me know if you think that it's something that's going to work for you, because it is something that's going to work for you. Looking forward to meeting you if you're somebody that does move forward with booking that call. We're coming up on the new year and Christmas. Don't wait until Christmas or the new year to start a plan. You're never going to start on January 1st. And if you made it to the end, subscribe on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, Spotify, Apple, all the things. And it just really helps me to get this message out to the people that need it. You know, it helps me get it out to my own self, the people that want to actually keep the weight off this time and are just sick and fucking tired of the cycle of starting something and then quitting after they see sometimes no results, but sometimes a shit ton, and then just losing everything that they had worked on. Hope everybody has a great week. You absolutely have what it takes to lose weight. You absolutely have what it takes to keep the weight off forever. Never forget. See you next week.